unmuted.
Yeah, I think we'll start.
Okay. Very good evening. Thanks to see all the smiling faces on this webinar. Dear Toastmasters and esteemed guests, welcome to this brilliant session. It's an honor to stand before you and we embark upon this remarkable journey together. We'll start the sessions. I'm excited to guide you through the engaging sessions and enlightening moments. Let us set the tone for the memorable experience ahead. Generally, we saw in the morning, the sun does not want anything from us. The sun always gives a rays for our growth. Here, we will welcome our PQD member, a member of 3 clubs and Toastmasters since 2010, and taken almost all positions in the club level: best area director, best division director, district divisions, and the year goes like this continuously.
Exalt.
Already keeps years will goes on it, and she is Inner Wheel, which is the largest women organizations focusing on the social service, and she is the district conference program chair, registration accommodation chair in the additions for all other credential chairs, and chatted many clubs, and winning the Smedley Distinguished District Award. And I would welcome Sarita ma'am for her address. Welcome back. Welcome. Stage goes to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Guru, for the introduction. Okay. Welcome to this webinar, which is a confabulation of Vice President Education of Toastmasters District 121. To all of you, dear members of District 121 and of other districts, I offer a happy welcome. As a Toastmaster, I've always been impressed by the dedication and commitment of our members to personal and professional development. This is especially true of our Vice President Education, who plays a vital role in supporting and nurturing the growth of our clubs and members. In this webinar, we will explore the many facets of the Vice President Education's role, from developing and implementing educational programs to providing guidance and support to club officers and members. So we will also hear from experienced VPS who will share their insight and best practices. I'm confident that this webinar will be a valuable resource for all Toastmasters who are interested in learning more, not only about VPS, but the very spirit of the movement. A clear understanding of the responsibilities of the VPS, practical tips and strategies for implementing the Toastmasters International educational programs and resources for supporting our clubs and members would surely be some of our takeaway. I encourage you to note down any queries you may have so that we give our presenters a tough time after the webinar. Just joking. We have some of the best assembled here, and they will surely remain unfazed by any queries. And these are some of the announcements which I wanted to make. We have organized a judges training program, contest management training, and contest training. Our experts, DTM Arun Ramratnam, DTM Safir, and district champions from other districts are facilitators. So the event is scheduled for Sunday, November 26th at Bosch, Kormangla in Bangalore. While it is a hybrid meeting, we strongly encourage your physical presence. We have another session planned in Kochi on December 3rd at Muthu Institute of Science. Your participation in person is highly appreciated. Today, we have issued the mentors and trainers form also. We seek nomination from interested Toastmasters members to serve as mentors and trainers in our district, as we aim to establish a mentors and trainers pool for District 121 to train the next generation of Toastmasters leaders. So please do fill in the form. And thank you for logging in, dear members. I look forward to learning along with you today. So over to you, to the MC. Guru.
Yes, thank you. So many people have seen JTP's posters. Okay, so thank you. And today we are having the good, we are having 3 gurus, and three gurus will enlighten us on what's the challenges, what they are doing, what they are. Our D21 District 21 people, VPs are getting any challenges. Such challenges will be answered by our three well-known gurus. The first one, person is having a chartered accountant experience, the practice of 33 years, and the past presidents of ProAct Toastmasters Mangalore, past area director, a trainer in the soft skills, and a teacher of the CA students. Teacher always explains much more better, and which is having 30 years, means the 3 decade experience to this one, and we are honored to see him on the stage. Kiran Vasant, welcome to this stage, and we will happy to hear you more on that. Moving on to the next one, and a mechanical engineer by education, engineering specialist by profession, and Toastmaster by passion. Worked as PMI project management in oil and gas industries over 3 decades of experience, and project management award from Saudi Aramco, and fellow Institution of Engineers Cochin local chapters, ABP project management. And if I start saying all these things, and it will not end. And as a Toastmaster, served in club, area, division, districts. This is all the very common, and received the club best president award, best area director award among 60 area directors, and now currently working as a part of the PQD team, and immediate past president, and currently serving as a VP Thiruvalla Toastmasters Club. Again, 3 decades of experience. Welcome to the stage, Johnson Samuel. All 233 decades. Now, moving on to the next gem, Arun is the one, and he's a motivational speaker, distinguished Toastmaster, Indian heritage researcher, temple architectural geek, amateur historian, museum lover, a leadership coach, and youth catalyst, and a Bangalorean. Arun is in IT industries, having 23 years of experience and 2 decades already completed, and has played various business and leadership roles. Arun is a Toastmaster from 2015, and he distinguished Toastmaster, served as a club extension chair, and he has conceptualized, delivered numerous innovative in Toastmasters as a president, unique HATEC speech, outdoor events, APJ Abdul Kalam memorial speech, like this, and is area director and division 92, best practices for Huntech Club extension chair, sisters club program. And we are happy to see you, Arun, on the stage. Welcome back to the all the three teachers as a gurus for our session. Back to you, Johnson, sir.
Good evening, everyone. District 121 Toastmasters program has been going through a lot of educational programs. We have already conducted 3 webinars focused on several areas which are the need of the hour for the members of District 121. With that, we are today zooming into how we can do ground level actions, how we can have ground level best practices, as the club and the club members are the vital role players in any organization, and so do in Toastmasters. So our focus today is to enlighten some of the best practices which has been already used, implemented, and has become prevailing practice in many clubs or other districts. We wanted to spend few minutes on showcasing those best practices and how we can inculcate them into our club meetings to strengthen our club, to provide quality meetings, and ultimately to ensure that the member expectations are met. So we're going to be unfolding those best practices to cater several of the problems and the issues mentioned during COTs and other feedback from the members and the club officers in handling the club's meetings and other aspects of the club. So we're going to take a 360-degree view on the club operation, and we're going to be explaining how we have broken down the VP role, which is a critical officer in any club. So with that, we have, as mentioned by the MC, we have two of my colleagues. I'm going to be sharing those experiences and unfolding what we are able to provide you with an opportunity to learn and to practice it. So allow me to, I guess you can see the screen. All right, good. So we're going to be touch base with almost 50 plus best practices, and we will focus on each one of them. And to enlighten more about what is going to be unfolding in today's evening session, I'm going to invite my colleague, and as briefed by the MC, a guru in Toastmasters. So I would like to invite distinguished Toastmaster Arun to give a quick summary of what is going to be unfolding in the next few minutes. Toastmaster Arun, please.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming in fairly decent numbers, and we hope this exercise would be of interest to you all. Essentially, I hope I'm visible.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, great. So essentially what we put together to you, three of us have sat together as experts who've been around for some time, decided to put together a treasure chest of best practices from you. So essentially, you might wonder, what is a best practice? A best practice is something that's a proven method that is repeatable, that can be tried in different clubs in order to assure the primary goals that your club has set for itself, which is to help your members in achieving their primary purpose of being good speakers and leaders. So we have picked up practices that we have come across in the clubs that we have been in and from elsewhere as well. We have tried to group them by priority. We recognize the fact that clubs are at different levels of maturity. So we decided to group these, and we are also giving you a method by which you can assess yourself and find a way by which you can deploy these in a structured manner. Next slide, please. Yeah, so we essentially have best practices in multiple categories, which some together, form the role of the VP Ed. We have already conducted sessions on mentoring and evaluation. So a bulk of our thrust today would be on the first four, which is orchestrating the meeting, role takers to help them achieve their full potential, and also to manage member expectations and manage member progress and development. So these are the four areas we shall be focusing on today. Next slide, please. So like I told you that we have grouped all the best practices into these three buckets. And this is a framework that we are introducing to the district, which hopefully will be flexible and will allow us to keep adding as we go year after year. And what we've done is grouped all these best practices into one of these three. So we have tagged them with hygiene, stretch, or aspirational, which essentially means that, every best practice may not currently be applicable for every club because of the state of maturity. Some clubs might be just reviving, so it's very unfair to expect them to apply a very complex best practice. But at the same time, we have some very advanced clubs in the district where we'd like them to challenge themselves. So we've tried to group these best practices into hygiene, which is meant for all clubs, stretch, which is meant for emerging clubs, which means clubs that have been around for a couple of years and reasonably functional, okay. And then aspirational is for the clubs that are doing really well so that they can push themselves to the next level. Yeah, so I hope that is clear. So we have best practices in two buckets. One is by category, and each of the best practices are grouped by priority. Next slide, please. Okay, so now we are all set, and we are essentially going to be sharing with you these best practices. We shall first cover the two segments, take a break, and then we shall take some questions and then do the next two segments as such. So the first segment is going to start, where we shall cover the first two categories. The three facilitators are going to be popping like popcorn, the best practice nuggets, one every minute. And that's all we'll take. So we're not going to bore you to death. Every best practice in a minute. So fasten seatbelts and get ready for the show. Over to you. For the next slide, please. Next slide, please. So the first category is orchestrating the meeting. The most difficult part for a VP Head is to be able to run the meeting itself, find role takers, make sure that things are going good. And that is something that every role taker is every VP Head is faced with a primary challenge. So that is the category of orchestrating meetings. We shall now start the best practice for this section.
The best practice number 1, meeting planner. Publish your yearly meeting calendar and update it frequently. Why are we publishing a meeting calendar for the club for the whole program year? Members have different priorities and they need to know what is happening in every week, every month. So to block their calendar primarily so they can focus and devote their time. And also you have major milestones happening in your club contest, area contest, division contest, your milestone journey of your own club, maybe celebrating the 50th anniversary, maybe the 100th. All this can be highlighted in your calendar and share it to the membership right in the beginning and update frequently. So they get a full understanding of what is going to be unveiling for the entire program year to prepare themselves, to contribute, and to make it a successful program. And that's what helps the planning calendar. Let's go to the next best practice.
Best practice number 2, template agenda. It's create draft agenda and role commitments for the upcoming meeting at the end of each meeting. See, at the end of every meeting, if you start doing this, it creates a kind of commitment sense. Also, people will look forward for the next meeting and they'll prepare better. Once they start preparing better, they'll definitely attend the meeting. So creating this draft agenda and in fact, posting it regularly in your WhatsApp groups will really, really help you to conduct a very good meeting. So I strongly recommend that you should create a draft agenda. Over to the next one, please.
Plan educational sessions. So you'd wonder what's the big deal about this one. The hardest part of our educational sessions is to get sessions that are relevant to your members and in a timely manner. So the difficulty is, in reality, what we do is we try and find whoever is available, a senior member is available, then we get hold of them and we make them do an educational session. What we are recommending through this best practice is to plan ahead for a whole term. If you have 6 months or a year as your term as a president or a VP Head, plan out how many sessions that you're going to have. Also look at your member demography. How many new members do you have? How many senior members do you have? And look at their needs and accordingly think through and design the set of educational sessions that you have. And also try to bring educational speakers from within India and outside India as well. So that's this best practice. Next slide, please.
Best practice number 4, new member pathways orientation. Ensure members are given a live introduction to pathways. Toastmasters International has put significant effort in launching the educational program worldwide, and we are all practicing it. However, when new members are joining at different timings in the club, we need to make sure that they don't get lost in the pathways complexity. So we wanted to make sure that at the club level, do a live introduction, how to enroll, how to select the path, how to keep reporting the progress. All these elements, you can do it with a live demonstration with the club members' participation. And that enables them to have a smooth journey in preparation for their projects in pathways. That's what we're trying to achieve through this best practice. Next one.
The hot seat. Assign a member for the hot seat to take on roles when there are last-minute dropouts. I'm sure everyone present here agrees that this last-minute dropout is a common phenomenon and it can't be helped. It will happen. So it's always better to keep one person in the hot seat. If you can have more than one, well and good. But prepare yourself for the worst case scenario, and your meeting will go on very smooth. This will help the VP a lot, and the club also. Over to the next one.
The 1 minute Toastmaster. Essentially, this best practice requires us to invite new members to speak just for 1 minute to give their takes on that specific meeting's theme. So the benefit of this is that new members get more comfortable engaging with the club, because initially you'd notice that new members do not engage much with members and are reticent initially. So if you invite them at the start of the meeting to come and give their takes on the topic, these new members would get into the groove and start engaging more easily and come up to speed much faster than you can imagine. Isn't that an interesting practice that you'd like to try? Next slide, please.
Best practice number 7, the fun segment. Include a fun segment for 5 minutes or one or two members to express themselves creatively. We don't want the Toastmasters meeting to be a very serious session. We need to have a fun-filled session. So ensure that you have a fun segment. Someone could be sharing a story, another incident, where the members can enjoy also and give a transition while we are shifting from speeches to another event, so that the members feel that they are at a place, they're comfortable, it is a fun-filled learning. Because it is important that we provide an ambience and contents which are enjoyable to the members all times. That's the intent of including a fun segment of any type which the members can enjoy. Next one, please.
The member engagement segment. Include a 10-minute session after prepared speeches segment for members to turn on mics and talk or network. Now, you don't come to a meeting just to listen to speeches and evaluate. You also come to a meeting to meet other people. That's the meaning of the word meeting. And therefore, members would love to meet one another, talk about general things, and feel good about it. This will add to your meeting quality. It'll help members to keep coming back for the meetings, even for the purpose of meeting others. So I would strongly recommend this member engagement segment in every meeting. Next, please.
Publish special occasions calendar. Essentially, this best practice is about celebrating special occasions in the club, like the club's anniversary, Independence Day, New Year's Day, Engineers Day, 100th meeting. Just let your imagination fly. The idea of this whole thing is to break the monotony of the regular meeting and to make members interested in new themes and new ideas that they can come to. Wouldn't most VPHs agree that after a while, it sort of sounds very monotonous? That is precisely what this best practice is meant to achieve. What would help is if you can plan at the start of the year how many special meetings that you'd like to have and sprinkle them across the year, at least one every 2 months, if not, or if possible, one every month, then you would actually find that your members are coming back more and more, and that would actually make your club an exciting club. Next slide, please.
Toastmasters leaderboard. Implement member recognition system, incentive member participation, contribution and initiatives, activities like points for bringing a guest, participating in a speech contest. All these elements can be acknowledged, and you reward the members for that one using a published point system. And this will make the members active participation and also the member engagement in the various roles, and the speech will help the club to showcase a quality meeting. So the intent behind it is reward the members for what they are contributing, when they are taking a role, when they are bringing a guest. All this need to be acknowledged and recognized. So you can have the best role player of the month, the icon, the Toastmaster of the month. We can various award system at the club level, and this will promote the Toastmasters in motivating them to do more. Next one.
Track, follow, follow through and implement GE's feedback systematically. Assign a member to support the Vice President Education to follow through on the general evaluator's comments, implement and track to closure. The evaluation of a general evaluator is very, very valuable to the clubs most of the times. But that needs follow-up. If the evaluation is not followed upon, then you lose track. The whole purpose is lost. So therefore, it's highly advisable for you to keep a track of the advices given and do some recommendatory actions on that. That will really help you to bring up the quality in your meetings. Over to the next one.
Next one.
Circulate agenda a day or more in advance. Circulate detailed agenda with updated role takers, schedule, and backups at least a day in advance or a week in advance in case your club is very mature. This is a huge problem that impacts the quality of a meeting incredibly as such, because a lot of scrambling happens in the last couple of hours just in the run-up to the meeting in many clubs, and as a result of which, many of the role takers tend to get a little nervous, and that puts them off the balance and doesn't lend to a creative and a well-orchestrated meeting. So if you can mandate that this agenda is at least shared in elaborate detail with time slots, which many clubs sometimes don't end up doing, this would invariably go a long way in making sure that your club runs well. Don't forget the time slots and the backups are very important. Next slide, please.
Mandate meeting theme. Make meeting theme a regular practice. Why it is important? Members need to have a focused theme and to discuss about it. So the entire meeting is revolving around a particular theme, which is more appropriate for that particular meeting. So your table topic sessions, the Toastmaster of the day, all of them will be conducting it a theme-based meeting. You can also get members' experience on that particular theme while introducing the role takers for various assignments. So it makes it more interesting when you have a theme-based meeting and conducted with a well-synchronized theme for conducting the meeting. So that's what the intent behind having a theme-based regular meetings. Next one, please.
Assign members target for guests. Here's a great idea. Assign members a guest visitor annual target. That means every member has to bring at least 5 guests every year. Now, this would add a new blood element, a kind of a transfusion that comes into your system, and everybody likes to talk to new members. New members have a great effect on the club meeting. Okay, so if you have this kind of a target, it will not only improve your membership, but it will also improve your quality of the meetings. So therefore, don't forget, tell your members that they have to get at least 5 in a year, and that's possible. So you have at least 3 guests in every meeting. That would be wonderful. Next one, please.
You're speaking on mute, Arun.
Okay, now we shall, could you go to the previous slide, please? Yeah, now we shall, oops, the next slide. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, it's okay.
Now we shall focus on the category. How do we help role takers excel in what they do, right? So that's the category. Pardon us for the typo. So the best practice here is maintain role takers assignment metrics. So essentially what happens is you track the roles taken by members in each meeting to ensure a fair opportunity for all members. And not only that, to ensure all-round development of all members. This is a very important best practice because a lot of clubs have the same subset of members performing different roles, and they're available at beck and call, whereas a good amount of their members sometimes don't participate in the role taking, but are passive attendees in the meeting. So this best practice makes sure that you track the members, every member's contribution in a matrix, so you know who's doing very well in terms of participation, who's playing specific roles but not other roles, so that you can encourage members who are not participating, encourage members to take a spectrum of roles. Thereby, the load and the pressure is shared by all, and there is uniform learning for all members. Isn't this something that you would like to implement? It's very easy. All it takes is a simple Excel sheet and the secretary and the VP had to track it every meeting. Thank you. Next slide, please.
Rotate key roles. Rotate key roles like general evaluator, grammarian, and table topics master. Bring external role takers for these regularly. It has been my experience that when you have an external general evaluator, we really get a different perspective. Even the grammarian, for example, how many times have we loved having DTM Samina in our club as a grammarian, or even table topics for that matter. When you bring external members to conduct these roles, it adds a surprise element to all of us. So therefore, we would recommend that you rotate these key roles regularly and also sometimes bring in an external person for it. Next one, please.
Conduct quarterly educational sessions in the club to train new role takers on their responsibilities. We sometimes train the role takers through the help of the VP Ed or some of their mentors. But what if we were to be able to do this periodically every quarter at the start of the quarter, in which case the new members get oriented to what that role takes, familiarity with the scripts, and the common things that can make them excel in that role, and common pitfalls that happen that they should avoid. So this is something that we recommend is done on a quarterly basis through educational sessions. Next slide, please.
Use standard role scripts for new members. Mandate the use of standard role scripts as given in District 121 Toastmasters website for new role takers. What it helps the new members when they take a role is they need support and help. So District 121 has already standardized the various role taker scripts and available at the website. So download them, guide the new members, and they can use it. And eventually they will be able to have the scripts by themselves and run a quality session while introducing different roles. So this practice helps all members to have well-written content and the script which has been already mentored and used. And that is the practice we are trying to get in place in all the clubs to enable quality introduction of the various role takers in a meeting. Next one.
Quarterly recognition of role takers. Recognize quarterly the best role takers for each role and the most frequent volunteers for roles. Members need this recognition. When you give this recognition to members, the others get motivated to take up these roles. And you're expressing your gratitude for those who have been taking it nicely. This is an aspiration for every member. And this practice will definitely help you to get your meetings more interesting and more fun. Next one, please.
The Master Role Taker Award. Track and recognize especially those members who have played all roles in a 6-month window with a Master Role Taker Award. Isn't this something that you can try and so easy to do? The whole idea about this is that in a 6-month window, you encourage more members to play all the roles at least once so that they cover the entire gamut and therefore are also learning different aspects of those roles. Imagine how nice it would be if your club has 10 or more role takers who could be have the Master Role Taker Award. That would be incredible. Next slide, please.
Rate role performance. Rate performance of role takers by a member poll. Ratings could be great, good, can do better. Why it is important? We all start at different levels, but we need to enhance our skills to better levels. And that will take every role taker, which are the main pillars of a quality meeting, to do better. So let us get some feedback and to them. So we are aware of exactly which are the role takers who can perform better and what are their areas. And this is a key indicator when you have role takers performing with a higher rating, or to have all great role takers in a meeting, naturally the club quality will be on the higher end. Next one, please.
Role taking by draw of lots. Run meetings where specific roles are assigned to members by draw of lots during the meeting. Now, a surprise element is desired by everybody. Everybody enjoys a surprise element. Not only that, you get people who have never taken up roles, who are scared to take up roles, to take up such roles. Because I know for a fact that some people don't like to take up the grammarian roles. But unless you step into the water, you're not going to learn to swim. So this random taking up of roles will really help you to bring these members forward. Over to the next one.
Now, at this time, we're going to take a small pause and to like to get some questions so that we can share either a best practice or a practical solutions for that one. So we would like to seek the help of the Q&A leader to handle the questions from the members, or if you have any questions already, distinguished Toastmaster Bina, I guess if you can.
Right now, we don't have any questions in the chat.
Yeah, there is one question. It
Yes,
is from
let me see.
Jerin Jacob. Yeah, please read it. Yeah.
No, sir, you can go ahead. I'll
All right. Okay. His concern is about getting members to take the TMOD role. TMOD role is a multi-skilled role, which enables you not only to conduct a meeting, but to take the leadership. You're becoming an MC of that particular event. So what we need is a little guidance and help. And this is where the script and the format helps. I mean, in the District 121 website, there are already standardized script for TMOD. And all you do is customize it. So remove the fear segment from the member and encourage them by providing them the supporting elements and give the feedback at the end of the meeting so they can enhance it. Trust me, next time they'll be looking for a slot because TMOD is not just a role, but you are really running the meeting of that day. I hope it helps. And what we need is guidance. Eliminate the fear complex from the member, guide them with the script, and let them do it.
If I can add to what DTM Johnson just said, Jared, that random choosing by draw of lots, you also appoint a mentor to this person, to help him go through the route. It will really help you to encourage these members to do it. I do understand your plight. We all have the same fear. So I agree with you. But I think random draw of lots would help you guys. There's another question, DTM Johnson.
Yeah, you can go ahead. Yeah.
How does one manage time in a meeting with 3 speakers? How does one keep a meeting within 90 minutes if we have a full stack meeting? I have seen clubs doing 4 speaker meetings also in this. I know it is difficult, it is tough, but 3 speaker meetings is ideal and it can happen. That is why you structure an agenda in advance. Then you'll know time-wise, if you plan it, it works. So I would suggest you to have the time-wise agenda as a regular practice. Anybody else can add if you want.
I'd like to add, I think based on practice of different clubs, to run a meeting with good quality, even with 2 speakers, takes 2 hours. A lot of clubs try to do it in an hour or hour and a half, but invariably they end up cutting some elements of the meeting. So if you're going to have 3 meetings, 3 speakers, I strongly recommend you at least have 2 hours for that meeting. I think that's one way you wouldn't have to short circuit certain hygiene elements of the meeting. The other best practice I'd like to suggest is some clubs have this method where they track and announce the time taken by the meeting at the end of every segment, at the end of the prepared speeches, at the end of the table topics, so that you know how many minutes you're behind. So everybody's sensitized in order to catch up with the lost time. Hope that helps.
One more question. in the form, registration form, we got one common question. During the clubs, why senior members are not coming with prepared speeches? It shows that we are unable to see what is a role model speech, how to provide a speech, any new club or struggling club or existing plus, why the seniors are not coming onto the stage or not coming to the club and presenting themselves or presenting the topic.
I guess my idea of drawing lots of speakers will also pull in everybody. So you will get senior speakers also. But then it's up to the VP head. He could request some of the senior speakers to take it as one speech, once in a week or once in a month, so that they get this idea.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Yeah, if there are no immediate questions at this time, we'll move on to the segment.
I have a request, DTM Johnson. There were certain specific queries that were shared by people when they filled the form. Could we take a few of them to honor some of those queries?
Yes.
Also, in the meanwhile, if I can ask Kavita Prakash to elaborate on a super timer, I think there's a suggestion given in the chat box. Could you just take a short time and tell us what is this super timer? Toastmaster Kavita?
Yeah, sure, Kiran. Thank you so much. So yeah, ours is a community club with a lot of enthusiastic members. And,
Echo.
there's an echo. Is it okay now?
Yeah. Okay. Much better.
And we always found it a challenge, and we would stretch to 2 hours. And some of the members started complaining about it, and we had to take some action. And we started monitoring how we were doing on the timing by noting down for every segment. Timer usually shows for each speaker, but not for the TMOD role. Sometimes the TMODs would extend, and that was the problem. And sometimes the general evaluator would have a lot of things to say, and that was the problem. Or, sometimes there would be too many people who want to do the topic segment, the TTM segment participation. And that was also a challenge. So we identify all this, and then we opted for one more timer role who will sit next to the normal timer, the tag role timer. And this one would show the timings for all these other segments, the in between, the TMOD, and the overall timing for the table topic segment and things like that. So that way we could address it to a large extent. And now at least 80% of our meetings are getting done by 90 minutes.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kavita. That was a nice suggestion.
Yeah, thank you.
One of the questions which came during the registration is about the role participation. The question is difficulty in securing role players for every meeting. Last minute dropouts affecting the quality of the meetings. Members cancel speeches, role at the last minute. I think during our initial segment, we are given some of the specific best practices to cater these particular problems. For example, last minute drop, have a hot seat. Or you can have, the hot seat can be taken by anyone. You can if you couldn't find anyone, let the president or VP education can be the hot seat. So they can take up and sign up on any role instantly, which means you have to be fully involved in the meeting and familiar with the agenda. What are the speeches going to be unfolding? If you have to step in as an evaluator, make sure the project is known to you, and then the evaluation sheets are available, quickly attend it. So the meeting will flow very smooth, and the guest may not even know that someone stepped in to cater that particular situation if the hot seat is very clear. It will be a simple dialogue between Toastmaster of the day, who knows that this particular officer is going to be today's hot seat. So naturally, so these are some of the practical solutions you can practice in any club meetings. Another one is getting speakers for the prepared speeches and explaining how pathways worked. We had one specific best practice live demo of how the pathway system works. You don't have to tell the whole 9 yards of pathways in one single shot. Let's just explain what is level 1. How do you do the projects? What are the projects? What are the objectives? So he walked them through in one educational session, just about level 1. Then he progressed like that way. So all those members who are progressing in level 1 will get a full idea of how to find their evaluation form, how to download the manual, how to upload their completion, where to put all these elements you show live with the one member actually logged in and walk them through it. That is really where you can guide them and motivate them that it is not a complex system. You can maneuver it easily within the pathways. I guess that gives an answer for that. I think at this time, let's keep going.
Sure. I just want to give the audience an opportunity to just ask and share any 1 or 2 best practices they have in the segments covered, and then we'll quickly go to the last segment.
So shall we go?
Does anybody have a best practice that you want to share from your club?
Yeah. If anyone has been using a best practice and you think it is beneficial, please unmute and you can speak.
We have to recognize the presence of our district director who has given a suggestion to everybody. If you could say it loud, sir.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Kiran. So I was very amused by the question that was asked in terms of engaging senior members. And this is a constant problem with pretty much a lot of experienced or mature clubs, like how Arun rightly put it in the beginning of the session. So one thing which I just wanted to share is every member, whether old or new, has a purpose in the club. And that's exactly what, as VPEs, we need to help them identify. And the purpose can keep changing itself. Today it might be building confidence, tomorrow it might be being effective or efficient, and day after tomorrow it might be being more impactful per se. So as a VPE, it's my responsibility to make sure that the member is able to identify what his or her actual need is. And when there is a need, that entire purpose is created, and then automatically we will start doing things the way we want to. That's one way of engaging senior members. The second option is, of course, to showcase how things are done. Because they've been in the system, it's important for them to show our new members as to how things are done. Especially one entire meeting could be, conducted entirely through the senior members in a club as such, or all DTMs and things like that. So these are some of the different approaches which we can take to engage senior members. I just wanted to add when the question was asked. Back to you, Kiran. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Arjun, our district director. I think our past regional advisor, distinguished Toastmaster Sunil Kotadathil would like to share. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Johnson. Some of the common issues faced by the clubs is lack of attendance, or, as you mentioned, dropouts. Maybe one of the best practice, or one of the practice we were suggesting earlier to the weak clubs, especially where there are lesser members, where there are not much participation from members, is like don't insist on a high quality meeting. I mean high level meeting for that club. Say something we started earlier and found to be really successful was like even if there are only, say, few members, very few members, just take, for example, only 5 members attending the meeting. It's not the numbers, but the quality, or how we serve those members who are regular, who are really interested in attending the meeting. That makes a big difference. Like even if you have only, say, 3 members or 5 members in the meeting, don't feel bad about it. Let the club ensure that those 3 members or those 5 members who are attending the meeting, they have a very good time in that half an hour or whatever limited time they spend in the meeting room. Say, for example, you can skip many of the roles. You don't need to fill the roles. See, filling a role and taking up a role for the benefit of members, it's 2 different things. So I would prefer, if the struggling clubs don't force themselves or don't be under the pressure of filling the roles and being, that we don't have enough members, or don't be in that thought. But instead, even if you have few members, encourage them, let them have a great time, and that positivity, let that spread across, and let more members join that club. That's my humble 2 cents here.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Sunil Kottarathil, for that valuable thoughts. We appreciate that.
Shall we get started then with the subsequent segment?
I guess.
I'll share my screen and take it from here.
Okay,
Johnson.
fine.
In the interest of time, we shall zoom through this fast because we also need to finish the meeting on time. We're in the third category, which is member progress and development. DTM Johnson, could you get started?
Yeah, yes. Develop and publish speech project plan. Develop and publish speech project plan for each member during the month of July when the program year starts, and keep it updated and shared to members. Why do we do this? Every member need to have a project plan for the program year. Members join, but we need to share with them a plan for themselves, how to do projects at a specific intervals in a planned way. We also need to be fair with all members so they get opportunity to progress in their speeches. So publishing a speech project plan for the entire club members and share it as they progress. At the end of the meeting, probably you can just show it to the members, how they have progressed, how a planned date versus the actual date they delivered it. And it will also act as a reminder for the members when they are falling behind. So that's the importance of having a speech project plan. Next one, please.
You're on mute, Kiran, sir.
Sorry. Role taking by draw of lots. I've already mentioned this. You need to track the member progress and engage with them. Like what, in lines with what Johnson just mentioned. We have to really keep every individual member in the loop. So the VP head has a task, but he can delegate this task of, asking some members, senior members, to track the individual 5-6 members and go on with that. But we need to bring to light to the members their level of progress so that they know that they are cared for and the club is interested in them. Next one.
You're on mute. Arun, you're on mute.
The next best practice is to ensure adequate mentoring is received by members. This is something that is a challenge for many clubs because often role assignments, mentoring lists are not published in advance, and some mentors go away from time to time. So it's very important for having some mechanism that the club can have to track mentoring sessions that are actually happening through an Excel sheet. So thereby, you would know which mentors are able to make time and which are not. And I think that will help the VP Ed to make sure that adequate mentoring is given to all members. Next slide, please. Sorry, I'm just sharing. Yeah, DTM Johnson?
Yes. Organize Toastmasters quiz. Conduct quiz about Toastmasters history, district details, etc., to improve the awareness of Toastmasters and its benefits. A member joins an organization, need to know what is happening around him. Give him the big picture. So conduct a Toastmaster history quiz as part of your creative segments in a meeting. Let them know how the leadership hierarchy works, from club officers to the district director and beyond. They need to know who are these role players. So understanding about how the organization works and how the organization leadership is in place is very important, and make aware of this one. So you can do it announced way and part of the creative segment in a Toastmaster meeting, which will benefit the members to learn more about this 100 years old organization, how it has been supporting generations. Next one, please.
Then I'll take that. Organized Toastmasters magazine quiz. Essentially, Toastmasters International publishes the Toastmasters magazine, which is a very, very valuable resource. It gives strengths in public speaking. Some of the experts give opinions. There are wonderful articles. There is news about what's happening in different clubs. But unfortunately, what happens is most people don't end up making time to read it. Therefore, the club can do something where they can organize a quiz at periodic times, so that even if members haven't had a chance to go through the articles themselves, they would get awareness in terms of what all are the things that are mentioned from a specific magazine, that would actually encourage them to read up and come for future meetings. At the minimum, it would create awareness in terms of the kind of articles that are available in a certain issue. And that would be a great way to derive value from the membership fee that we pay, which is leveraging the Toastmasters magazine.
Organized Toastmasters district quiz. Again, going along with the previous one, this is, you need to know your leaders. Conduct quiz about district roles, officers, history, expert to create an awareness about the ecosystem. People may join the club. He might be seeing only the club officers, and we don't want them to get a feel that that is the boundary of their journey. No, you need to give them a full picture, how the area functions, how the area director operates with interface with the clubs, how the division director interfaces, who are these role players. So people understand it. When an area visit happens, all members will know that how the area director visit, what is the purpose of it. So introduce them to all these role players and the officers at all levels. In future, this will motivate them to sign up for some of those roles as they progress in their Toastmaster journey. Because ultimately, Toastmasters is about making leaders and enhance communication. So that is why this specific affect the members' growth. Next one.
Organize Toastmasters district quiz. Again, continuing the quizzing part. Conduct quiz about the district roles, officers' history, experts to create awareness about people's studies. This is a repeat, I think, by mistake.
Yeah, go to the next one.
Yeah.
Arun,
take over, please.
Arun, please unmute. Yeah.
I think there's a technical issue. I'm just resharing my screen. Pardon me for that.
Thank you. For each level and path completion, we need to recognize the members. Members are doing a bit. They do their bit, especially the newer members. When you put a pat on their back, they get motivated to do more. Not only that, the other members who observe, who watch, will get motivated to perform. So it is important, inevitable, that we have to recognize every member whenever there is a path completion. Also, we share the club quality checklist form to the members, because every member has to contribute to the success of the club movement. So they'll understand this when you tell them what is their role. Most of the people are naive about club proceedings. So it's important that we share the checklist to our members. Next one, please.
Tim Johnson?
Yes. Mentor assignment. Mentor to be assigned for every new member prior to their first meeting in the club. As you are all aware that new members are formally inducted, and one of the question or one of their anxiety will be, do I have a mentor assigned to escort me in my journey? So one of the important aspects which a VP education has to ensure is that every new member has an assigned mentor to guide that particular member. So this has to be done as soon as his registration is completed, and the day of the induction of the new member or just prior to it, you share with them and with the entire club members that these are the assigned mentor matrix. So you update it and share it with the members. In addition to that one, seek individual targets. Members to provide their own targets for project completion. Every member joins Toastmasters with a certain specific goals and targets. We wanted to ensure that they are able to achieve them. It is the club's responsibility to enable them to achieve it. So we need to be engaging discussion with them to understand what is their target, guide them, and based on the targets they are provided. I want to complete 3 projects, 3 speeches. I want to take up the role of TMOD in the next meeting. All these are little targets which the member put forward. Guide them, support them, and have in place a system so he can work with them in their journey. Next one, please.
With that, we move to the final category, which is managing member expectations. Kiran, you could take this.
I think this is already done. The slide is removed.
Yeah, we've done that. We've done this.
Go on, Arun, you can take this.
Yeah, sure. Recognition and rewards. Ensure that members are constantly acknowledged and recognized, at least every 6 months. Many of the mature clubs do this, and this goes a long way in ensuring that members continue to keep coming to the club. There are many clubs which institute a host of creative awards. The most enthusiastic member, the most, the member who is most diligent, the member who hardly shows up, the Houdini Award, all kinds of different creative things. So have a set of awards which are data-driven and another set of awards that make the members laugh and have fun as such. So these are ways in which you can make sure that your members are acknowledged and recognized every 6 months, both by data as well as by the creative side of things. The other thing is, the next best practice is contest participations. Have a certain metric that every club has in terms of how many members that you want to encourage to participate in the club level contest. Very often we find clubs actually nominate a member who ends up going to the area level without a fight at the club level. And that actually does injustice to their ability to do well at the next level. So if a club has if a club contest is a tough fight, then the club member has a better chance as they move up into the next levels of contest. So contest participation, or at least getting 7 or 8 members to contest for each of the type of contest, is extremely important for the club's health as well as the members' health in terms of their ability to weather a tough contest. Next slide. TTM Johnson.
Yes. Track members' attendance. Recognize each month for exemplary attendance. Members attend the meetings, and many of them has to be acknowledged because it will motivate others to be regular for club meetings. So the secretary can just track the members' attendance and recognize them for the exemplary attendance at the end of each month. This way, it will motivate others not to miss the meetings and be part of it. Club Leadership Handbook. Toastmasters International issued a club leadership handbook. Ensure educational modules are conducted for each officer role and motivate members to take leadership roles. Why it is important? We do have COT programs to highlight and share specific roles for the officers, but we need to strengthen it by making the members to understand that the roles are possible to be taken up, so that when a new member see an officer role and its boundary and the limits and the responsibilities, it will motivate them to take up the role in the next program year. So club leadership handbook has been enhanced during May 2023, and it is available all for the members. So conduct specific education module, explain about the various role, and let the members be familiar and motivate them to take up those roles. Members follow up, regular one-to-one contact. Some members may be absent, 1 or 2 meetings, 3 meetings, but we need to get in touch with them exactly what is causing the problem, whether it is a personal issue or whether it is any other problems, in preventing them to attending the meeting. And also, we need to make sure that the members who are not progressing well on their speech projects. So one-to-one contact and interface will help the members to feel acknowledged, and on behalf of the club, an officer approaches a member to know the whereabouts and the situation. It will really encourage them to come for the next meeting. So we want to make sure that there is a one-to-one follow-up with the members all times. Next one, please.
DTM
Yeah,
Kiran, can you
celebrate
take this?
members' birthdays. This is a suggestion that, in his birthday, give a roast, not a toast. It'll be fun. It'll also add to your speaking skills, but the member also would enjoy it more. Members group engagement. See, in a club, if you can have smaller groups of 3 to 4 members each, you call it group A, group B, or you call it group blue, group red, and then make it a competition between them for a quarter. Which group has got the best participation points? When these 3 to 5 members will make sure that the others will attend. So they will be motivating one another and they'll participate better. There you have a better club meeting. So therefore, try to do this, 3 to 5 members, smaller groups in your clubs, and work it through that. Next one, please. You're on mute.
I don't unmute.
With that, we come to the formal end of the best practices that we wanted to share as a panel of experts. We left 7 slots for you folks, the clubs out there, so that you could actually add your best practices. One of the things that we've realized is, as we went through this exercise, we put the sum total of our experience of being in different clubs. And we are sure there are many more best practices out there, which perhaps are not visible to the 3 of us. And we would like you to please add to this list. And this framework is extensible and can be extended perhaps every 6 months and can be used by all clubs. So if you have a best practice out there, this is your opportunity to raise your hand and speak. And you could add to this treasure chest of best practices. And we could also suggest some next steps for you after we heard from some of the members out here. So if there's anybody out there who would like to add to the remaining 4 or 5 best practices, which we intentionally left for you to fill in, please raise your hands and we can take it from there. There are 59 of you in this session, which is quite encouraging. I'm sure there are
open.
Yeah, I can't see the chat window. If someone could help with anybody who's raising their hand. And
there are no questions in the chat window. All has been taken.
Okay, so this is not a question. I just was asking anybody wanted to share a best practice in their respective clubs, which may not have been covered by us and which could be added to this list. There are quite a few hands going up.
Kavita has raised her hand. Kavita and Sunil D. Kottarathil.
Can we spotlight Kavita, please?
Kavita,
will you
no,
speak
they're not
camera?
on video, so we cannot spotlight them unless they come on video.
All right. Kavita, could you please go ahead and share your best practice?
Yeah, thank you. Sorry, I will not be able to come on video. I'm outside. Okay, so I want to welcome everyone to our Instagram page, Mysore_Toastmasters, to check out our most beautiful, creative video minutes of the meetings. Every week, we've been posting some interesting minutes of the meetings, and that has enhanced our club visibility. This is one of the best practice that I figured out because I knew there was one of my members who was fabulous with PPTs, and we appointed her as the secretary and ensure that she creates the minutes every week and does some amazing work. So please do check out Mysore_Toastmasters for our creative minutes of the meeting templates. Thank you.
That's lovely. The next speaker who wanted to share.
Yeah,
best
distinguished
practice?
Toastmaster Sunil, you would like to?
Hi, good evening again. I think the contest season is on now. So it's something related to the contest. Before that, I consider all clubs as struggling clubs, struggling in one way or other way. There will be some aspect that the club is struggling. It can be lack of members or low number in members, lack of enthusiasm, or no guest. It can be anything. But we can use the contest, the club contest, to come out from these challenges. So use the club contest to overcome all the challenges that the club is facing and find that renovated energy. How? It's simple. Even if the club has only few members, again, I'm coming to the same point, the struggling clubs, whatever, 8 members or 10 members, ask the senior Toastmasters or the seasoned Toastmasters or the enthusiastic Toastmasters to come with the well-prepared speeches, the contest speeches. Then, of course, don't miss the contest, conduct the contest, of course. Then invite a lot of guests, make it as a showcase event. When the best speakers or the seasoned Toastmasters present their best speech, there will be a showcase event. So have table topic contest, have international speech contest, have humorous speech contest, evaluation contest. All this will attract the guest, and they will see the best performance from members on that day, which will mesmerize them. And as a result, you can get the new the guests turned into members, and they will bring, the new members will bring new ideas, new energy to the club, and you can start fresh from there with the renovated energy. That's one of the best practice I can share with.
Thank you, DTM Sunil.
Shaish, you can go ahead. Shaish Ahmed, go ahead.
Yes, thank you. Very good evening, everyone. I'm from a college club, VVC Toastmasters. And one thing that I think all the VPHs in the room will agree is that we need to be efficient with our communication. And when someone has taken up a role, I think as VPHs, showing enthusiasm towards their role will help them commit to it. So one thing that I usually put into practice is using the broadcast feature of WhatsApp. It's basically where you send a message to a large group of people, but they receive it individually. So I send individual broadcast messages to role takers, individual evaluators, and prepared speakers as reminder messages. And there are 2 reminder messages: one for their role, that it has been confirmed and we are enthusiastic about it, and the second would be of the venue and the timing at which we would like to see them there at the meeting. So use of broadcast feature of WhatsApp has really helped me show my part of enthusiasm towards their roles. So I think that is one practice that I think can help other VPHs also in maintaining the commitment and enthusiasm towards other people taking up roles. Thank you.
Thank you, Shaish. Sharon, you can go ahead.
Thank you. Good afternoon and good evening to all of you. I'm from We Talk Toastmasters. One thing I follow is like preparing this agenda using free Toast Host. So that is a free hosting website which has a lot of features. Unfortunately, it's kind of a old look-wise, but it has a ton of features. Am I allowed to share a screen for a minute?
Yeah, most
Is it
welcome.
okay?
Sure, you can.
You're
Okay,
always
so this
welcome.
is a quick look. So two things I would like to highlight here is one, the club calendar, where I've actually scheduled meetings in advance. And in the calendar, if you go to a particular agenda, you can actually sign up. Individual members can sign up for the roles. So we can actually get people sign up in advance as well. So there is a quick role sign up feature here where you can actually pick a date, let's a future date. So after implementing this, what I've noticed is asking people to sign up for speaker role especially just a week in advance is difficult. But if you ask them like 2-3 weeks in advance, normally people will be better prepared and sign up and less chance of dropping out. Yeah, that's all.
Okay. Are there any other?
Nikhil, I think Nikhil raised the hand.
Good evening, everyone. Am I audible and visible?
Yes, loud and clear.
Thank you, but for some reason, I'm not able to see myself. All right. First of all, thank you so much to all the three panelists for sharing your insights. Super helpful, super informative. My name is Nikhil. I am the VP of VR Advanced Toastmasters Club. Now, the first thing that my previous VP told me when I was taking up the role is, Nikhil, most of our members in our club are dual members or part of more than 2 clubs. How can you bring innovation to the club? And I feel it's not in our club, but I think every other club, variety meetings is the key. If you look at it, it's just the 3 sessions in every Toastmaster meeting, the prepared speeches, table topics, and evaluation, right? How do we spice up? So a few things that I have done is try to get in reverse meetings, try to get in speech marathons, contests, like one of you mentioned. Another thing that I felt something all of us could try is do not publish role takers before the meeting, just for one meeting I'm saying. Before the meeting, have everyone in the meeting. At that moment, spin a wheel and then choose the role takers before the meeting starts. That way, people are curious to know which role they're going to take before the meeting starts. So try to get in the variety is something I've been trying to do. And it's worked out well for our club. So yeah, that's just one thing that has helped our club. We are Advanced Toastmasters. Over to you.
Before you close, Nikhil, please speak about the panel evaluation and the table topics evaluation, which maybe other clubs can know about as best practices.
Sure thing. First of all, I would like to acknowledge Arun's contribution as well. He has personally guided me so much in our club. What we do are, apologies for the dog barking. What we do in our club, one of the USPs of our club is the way we provide evaluation. Since we are an advanced club, for every speaker, there's a panel of 3 evaluators giving their feedback. So for one speech, it's 3 evaluations. That's something really excites people to give their prepared speeches. So along with the panel evaluation, we have the impromptu evaluation, the table topics evaluation. That's something we've been trying to do, and we get seasoned members, all the senior members in our club to do evaluation, so that week after week, people get more excited to give speeches. So that's something we've been following. And yeah, I hope that answers DK Arun.
Is there anyone else? Thank you all for those of you who have shared. Is there anybody else in the hall who wants to share any other best practice? Okay, I don't see any hands going up. I'll toss a few from a few other clubs that I've seen. My other host club, Electronic City Toastmasters Club, runs a monthly speakathon. This is a very good best practice where they make sure that 10 of their members speak on the speakathon every month. The benefit of this is that you have, normally you have 4 meetings in a week, which is 8 speech slots that you have in a month. But if you had to add the speakathon, you end up creating something like 18 speaking slots in a month. Therefore, your members have a better chance of speaking at least once every 2.5 months. Otherwise, in some clubs, you will have to wait for 3 months or even 4 months to speak. So this is something that I encourage clubs to try so that you can encourage your members to speak. Another best practice I'd like to share is encouraging all your members to write a speech ground up every 2 months. And that, I think, is something that is really forces them to move on their journey So in a year, they will end up writing at least 6 speeches. And not only will they deliver one in the club, it is great to share, request them to try and deliver the speech in an international club, because there are a lot of international clubs. Write once, deliver twice or thrice. So thereby you get to hone the same speech multiple times and get good feedback. So these are certain things that VPED can suggest and give value for the members. So that's pretty much what we have. Is about 8:23, and we've covered a good gamut of best practices and some good sharing from some of the clubs as well. Thank you so much for those of you who kind of came up and shared best practices towards the end of the session. With that, I'd like to request DTM Johnson to say a few final words, because I must acknowledge that he was the most passionate man about running a VP Ed conclave. He's been doing this for multiple districts across countries, and it was his dream to actually run. And the passion he had was so infectious that some of us decided to jump along and work with him. And a few years back, I'd done the best practice at the area level, so it was nice to tango with both Kiran and Johnson to work on this. This is just the first version. I'm sure that with every 6 months, we'll try and release more best practices that everybody can use. And this deck we will be publishing with all of you as well. I'd like to pass the podium back to DTM Johnson, and perhaps also have Kiran share a few words. Over to you, DTM Johnson.
Thank you, DTM Arun. Yes, as mentioned, we intend to publish this across District 121 so that these tips and the best practices what we shared can be implemented at the club level, because the ground reality is what we need to acknowledge. So most of them were tested, proven, and has been running in many clubs. And you heard a few suggestions from other members, like Nikhil mentioned today. So let us have this published and available in the District 121 website so that everyone can benefit from it. Because at the end of the day, it is what we practice makes the club a quality meeting and for the members to remain in place. Because retention is possible only when it is encouraging and interesting meeting. And that's where we thought we could share some of these practices which you all can follow. And we want to appreciate and acknowledge the District PQD Distinguished Toastmaster Savida Salian and team for providing this opportunity. And I'd like to personally acknowledge all the VPs who are joined from multiple clubs and be part of this one. And definitely your time is valuable, and the learning you had today will definitely add value to your club. And thank you. And let me share to Distinguished Toastmaster Kiran for final words.
I'm very happy that this went on so well. In fact, for me also personally, it was a great learning. I have one last suggestion, like the one they say for the road. Make your members, encourage them to attend other club meetings. It will change their perspective, especially the new members. When they see other club meetings, they come back to our club and then want better practices there also. So senior members could tag along junior members to other club meetings. It will actually make you see Toastmasters the way you should see it. Anyway, thank you for this great opportunity. I have my gratitude to the PQD team for giving me this opportunity, and Johnson and Arun for tolerating me. Thank you very much.
Zoom Master, can you take a group photo before we close? We have 50 still in the room.
Yeah, I'm just taking the one. I'll remove the spotlight so that.
Yes, please.
Just smile. One more smile. We're not seeing any smile faces. Okay, one go ahead. 49 is coming up. Okay, I'm paging the second page. So many spaces. Okay, only 2 pages are coming up. Okay, fair enough. I took it out.
Okay. From the webinar chairs, heartfelt thank you for taking up this session by distinguished Toastmaster Johnson Samuel, DTM Arun Ramaratnam, and Kiran Vasant. Now, if you think that it was easy for them, no. They all had their personal exigencies. I think distinguished Toastmaster Samuel Johnson was shuttling from hospital to hospital, and even amidst that, he was trying to bring the session to you. And once during Diwali, Toastmaster Arun was talking to me and discussing about the webinar while his family was breaking crackers outside. And he just narrowly escaped a divorce. And Kiran Vasant, I don't know, since I didn't, probably he might have also taken some of the riding expeditions off so that he could be here and make us be more enlightened of how VPE could make the meeting interesting.
Meena,
Now-
sorry to interrupt. There's one thing I must acknowledge. From morning, Kiran has been on his bed. He's had a back problem and he's been on medication. And in spite of that, he attended 2 calls, and that is something that's very credible. So most people won't know that, but that is the level of commitment he has also put in. Thank you, Kiran, for that.
Exactly. That is what I wanted to put in. So this happened all amidst a lot of personal discomforts. And that shows the passion all these Toastmasters have in respect of bringing into table a lot of things so that you can improve your club experience and the member experience. A big round of applause to all of them. I know that the session has been insightful. I too learned quite a lot. I see some presidents who are here. I know that they are going to give a tough time to the VPs. I saw quite a bit of presidents here. And thank you so much, District 121, the VPEs, the presidents, the area directors, and the members of District 121 for being here and making this a grand success. And over to the queen of our district, the elegant, distinguished Toastmaster, Savita Salian.
Yeah, thank you, DTM Veena. So, first of all, I would like to acknowledge the presence of District 127 District Director, Deepa Surendran, PRA Sunil, and our District Director, DTM Arjun, who will surely motivate us. And thank you for your presence. Now, on behalf of all in the PQD team, I would like to extend a heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed presenters, thus DTM Johnson Samuel, Arun Ramaratnam, and Kiran Vasant for sharing their valuable insight and expertise on the crucial role of a VP President Education in the Toastmasters program. So the VP Education CONCLAVE, as already mentioned, was conceived by DTM Johnson, and despite being caught up in a medical emergency at home, he has graciously committed to attend the meeting. So thank you, DTM Johnson. Special appreciation goes to Arun Ramaratnam for stepping in and seamlessly taking charge of carrying forward this webinar. Sincere gratitude to the dedicated effort of our webinar chairs, DTM Veena, Gurunath Kulkarni, and Roshni. DTM Arun, your comprehensive presentation has shed light on the multifaceted responsibility of this position, from developing and implementing education programs to providing guidance and support to club officers and members. Your passion for Toastmasters education and your dedication to fostering personal and professional growth were evident throughout your presentation. So deep gratitude for the commitment you always display. Thank you, DTM Arun. DTM Kiran Vasant. I know him of being an adventurous person and, always with his bike anywhere, if it's raining or thundering. And I don't know, Arun speaks of his backache. Not a very happy news, DTM Kiran. Please do take care. So I speak on behalf of all assembled here when I say that we were impressed with your emphasis on the importance of creating a supportive and empowering learning environment within Toastmasters Club. Your practical tips and strategies on how to engage members, promote mentorship, and encourage continuous learning will undoubtedly prove to be invaluable resources for all Toastmasters. We are also grateful for your willingness to share your experiences and best practices. Thanks, Sarah, for the expertise that you passed on, DTM Kiran Vasan. DTM Johnson, yours has always been the voice of experience, voice of reason, and voice of propriety. And caution too. So may I add, our VPS doubtlessly go back with confidence from the knowledge and insight gained from your session, which will empower them to excel in their role as VP Education and make significant contribution to the growth and development of their own clubs and members in their respective clubs. Your support has been invaluable, and I cannot thank you enough for the help at all levels, DTM Johnson. So expressing appreciation to the members for your invaluable contribution, sharing best practices and expressing the club challenges through thoughtful questions. Thank you. A special thank you goes out to DTM Beenawaz, who has been a rock of support, sometimes on tumultuous seas, among choppy waves and rough rocks, when it looks like our effort would sink without a trace. So dear DTM, Beena, Gurunath and Roshi, I know that as long as you all are there to steer the ship, it will forge ahead steadily. I remain grateful. Dear Toastmasters who are still logged in, please know that it is your inspiring presence that keeps us going. Your unwavering interest in Toastmasters education enthuses us. I thank you for logging in and being with us. It's been a fruitful session, and we go back to our warm beds with the satisfaction of having renewed our commitment to Toastmasters. Thank you again, and good night to you.
Wonderful session.
Great session, Savita and team. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Didi.
Thank you.
Thank you, Savita. This is an amazing session. This is Kavi, Division of Director from District 92. I absolutely loved the session and looked like, I got my old VPN memories back, and whatever best practices I had forgotten, I really got into those pointers, and definitely I'll take it forward to my area directors and see how we can implement some of these. Fantastic session. Thank you.
I'm so happy to hear that. And I'm so happy that you have joined in from District 92. Thank you so much.
I think the District 79 PQD is here.
Oh, okay, great.
All the way from Saudi Arabia. Distinguished Toastmaster Shekhar Tiwari.
Shekhar Tiwari. Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's
hi,
hear from
Shekhar.
him.
I didn't see your name. So sorry. Great to have you as well.
Yes. Welcome to District 121. Thank you for joining in. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, I'm Shekhar Tiwari from District 79. Thank you so much. I'm actually in the office, so I'm just listening. It's what wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And we see a big poster also of
100 years.
Ralph's medal. Yes, we could still discuss and carry on. I'm so happy that you are still there.
Thank you, DTM Shekhar, for joining. Yeah.
Thanks, sir. Thanks to you. You are spreading the positive wave to all around the world. Thank you so much. The shining star of District 79 is now in District 121 and other districts. Great.
Thank you for joining.
Yeah, thank you. Welcome, sir. Thank you so much.
Yes. Okay. Bye. Good night. Thanks
Good night.
all.
Good night. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks to all.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
We'll end the meeting.
Yeah, I see some messages. So we'll just see and yeah, okay.
Thank you. We are ending the meeting.
Yeah,
Thank you,
yeah,
Gurunath
yeah.
ji.
Thank you. Yeah, yeah. Thanks. Bye. Good night. Bye. Thank you.